I'm really interested in your story in terms of what had you be entrepreneurial and take that bold step towards manufacturing and becoming a garment producer and not staying as a trader.
Yeah, I'll start with how I ended up joining the business. I wasn't groomed. My parents didn't put any pressure on me saying, you must join. I'm the only child, by the way. So the pressure was there symbolically because I knew that I was the only child, but no pressure was put on me saying, you must join this business. They told me if you can figure out something on your own, we're more than happy for you. So for a while, I did think that, yes, I could do something like that and tried. I did do an internship at a big Fortune 500 company. It's called Gillette, based out of Boston. And I very quickly realized in that 6 months that this corporate ladder is very difficult to climb. And it may not necessarily be totally based on my hard work or my skills. I quickly realized that the payback versus effort that you put in our own business was going to be infinitely higher, probably incomparable to any other opportunity that I would come across. So that's how I decided that, okay, once I'm done with college, I will join the business. I had the fortunate situation where I was moving back to a country where I didn't grow up, but yet I spoke the language. I knew the culture, right? Taiwan and China. So it was a very easy place for me to adapt to.
Yes.
And that probably helped me learn the business much quicker. So that's me joining the business part started and how I got familiar with the business. I grew up in an environment where we're constantly looking for opportunities, and I was no different. So once I saw that the margins on trading business were diminishing, I decided that we should add more value to demand the margin that we would like for our lifestyle, for our savings, for our future generations, whatever. Everyone has a different drive. For me, it was building a business that was competitive and well respected, well reputed, was probably the bigger driving force than the financial success. I was perhaps a little lucky where I was maybe born with a silver spoon in my mouth, so I didn't need to find the income to buy my dinner. My drive was really about building a business. The other thing that I noticed is when I joined a family-run business, people were in positions because they were family, not because they were the best for the job. Now, many things were done perhaps not the way I was taught with the American business education. For the first few years, I may have thought this and that. I was inexperienced at that point. But then when I really started understanding the value of having the right people in the right place, in the right positions, irrespective of whether they're family or not, was very important. I would say probably since 2010, I'd become confident enough myself. I was also well respected within the family to be able to get carte blanche on what I wanted to do and how I wanted to do it, right? Provided, of course, I had to still sell the story.
I love the fact that you had this realization during your internship that the payback versus the effort working for someone else is never going to be as much as what you can get in your own business. And I also like the fact that you went to Taiwan and then to China. And you saw that as an advantage because China was opening up. You knew Chinese, the language, the culture, and those are easy leverage points for us to manage our risk and uncertainty when we start a business. You'd learned about the importance of business model, strategy, professionalizing when you were there in the US.
In terms of running a professionally run business, I did major in entrepreneurship. So there was a lot of inferences to family run businesses and how some of them went bust or maybe didn't do very well because some changes were not made. Understanding that the change is the only constant and you have to keep changing with times. But in my journey, once I was in China and traveled the world, I met some very interesting individuals that were running businesses or maybe working in senior positions in very, very large businesses. And I realized how that having the right setup in terms of people, infrastructure, hierarchy will help you scale very quickly. So that was probably a realization that happened. It wasn't an aha moment, right? It was over a long period of time, traveling around the world, meeting customers, meeting maybe even competitors, right? And understanding, saying, oh, well, they do it this way, then why shouldn't we? And this process of trial and error has also taught me a lot, right? Sometimes what I see as a structure for someone else that works for them may not work for us, right? And finding that hybrid in between or whatever solution fits you. Going back to this entrepreneurial mindset, I think it's important for entrepreneurs that are younger to have their mindset be configured that disruption and change will happen. You have no one else to blame but yourself if you're not prepared for it. That's the way I look at that, right? This whole journey of setting up a factory here in Vietnam, dealing with government bureaus, land acquisition, building up, hiring workers. We have 1,000 people today. And that journey taught me a lot as well. Right? And if I was there with a very rigid mindset saying, well, no, this was the plan, why aren't we doing it? And then get too hung up on that, I wouldn't get here. I always like to focus on finding the solution to the problem and analyzing why that problem occurred later. Sometimes you may not even get to it. It doesn't matter. You've solved it.